Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I recently made a raven pendulum out of resin, and I wanted to share that with you. I had a nice surprise in an order I made for some resin molds. It was a Ouija board with planchettes. There wasn't a description for this extra mold that they put inside of my order, but it was perfect shape, I thought, to make a pendulum. So that's what I decided to do, make a pendulum out of that. I gathered a few things together, some salt, sage, and a bay leaf. Basically, if the spirits don't answer, they're just being rude. I chose purple beads because purple is my favorite color, and I'm using a silver bracelet from my mother to bring in those ancestor vibes. I was digging through my bag of crystals trying to figure out which stone I wanted to use, and I found this little piece that had cleanly broken off one of my larger crystals. The exact size I needed, and I instantly took that nudge from Spirit saying, hey, use this one. So I added the rune symbol Sowelu. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But I added that for clarity. So now it's time for me to go ahead and mix the resin. And because I'm highly allergic to the fumes of the resin, I have to do this outside. There is no ventilation that's good enough for me to do it inside, even with all the PPE, the goggles, the respirator, the gloves, the everything. So I'm outside mixing everything together, and I add all of the ingredients that I have, the salt, the sage, the bay leaf, and mix that into my resin as well. Right after I have that mixed, I want to go ahead and start adding some purple pigment ink. That is once I get it opened. I keep forgetting brand new ink bottles. You have to puncture a hole at the top of it. I chose purple because, again, purple is my favorite color, and I wanted this to be a dark purple, so I think I used maybe about 5 or more drops. I'm really not so sure. The hardest part of this whole thing is now waiting for it to dry. I did have some extra resin, and I'm going to go ahead and use that in two of the smaller molds that came with the package, and that's two small planchettes that came with that. Once it's completely dried, I go ahead and start to unmold it. Unmolding this was not easy at all. I kept feeling like I might break it, but I wasn't. It was just really hard to get this unmolded. And as you see, I've got the two tiny, the mini planchettes with the resin in there as well. Those were easy to unmold. I finally got everything unmolded to see what my new pendulum is. And so recently, there's been a lot of crows around my house. So imagine my surprise when I seen that this is a raven. Ravens and crows are similar in that they're both really dark black. The main difference, of course, is that the raven has a much larger, beak, face, nose, whatever it is. It's just really pronounced. But I really enjoy making my own divination tools. And when you're making them yourself, you're consecrating them at the same time that they're being made. That doesn't mean that you don't have to consecrate them afterwards. You can, of course, but it's not something that has to be done. Now, putting the pieces together isn't my strong point. I don't make jewelry on a regular basis, so I'm not even sure what the names of things are. The jump ring, I'm not even sure what comes next, ring, and so forth. But I did get everything put in together. I got the beads placed onto the bracelet. I'm really happy how it came out. Here it is, all finished. And uh, yeah, the stone inside does make it to where it's not so smooth up top. But, I think for my first time doing this, not even knowing what the mold was, I think I did a pretty good job. And I think it turned out great. Now let's see if it actually worked. Spirits, can you show me a yes answer? Oh, that's clearly a yes. It's hard keeping my hand still while it's pulled up, but my hand is still and it's moving on its own. I really enjoyed making this pendulum and the two small planchettes as well. I really enjoyed making this pendulum and the two small planchettes as well. If you liked hanging out, give this video a like. Maybe subscribe if you haven't yet. And seriously, I want to know, what questions should my pendulum answer next? Drop them in the comments. No questions too weird, I promise. Want to go deeper? Check out my shop, My Things to Do Too. I've got free and paid goodies in there, including my Pendulum Divination Guide, tarot ebooks, and even cookbooks for my fellow crones and IBS warriors. The link's below. Go binge the magic. Until next time,